Assalamu alaikum viewers, from behalf of your live team I am here. Today's our topic is history of banking in the world. The history of banking began with the first prototype banks, which were the merchant of the world who gave grain loans to farmers and traders who carried goods between the cities. This was around 2000 BC in Assyria, India, and Sumerian, later in the ancient Greece and during the Roman Empire. Later, based in the temples, gave loan with while accepting deposits and performing the change of money. Archaeology from this period in ancient China and India also show evidence of money lending. Many historic positions of the crucial historical development of the banking system to the medievals and Renaissance Italian and the particularly the affluent cities of the Florence, Venice, and Genoa. The Bardi and the Peruzzi families dominated banking in the 14th century. Florence establishing branches in many other parts of the Europe. The most famous Italian bank was the Medici Bank and established in by the Giovanni Medici in 1397. The oldest bank still in existence in the Banca Monte di Paschi di Siena, headquarter in Siena, Italy, which has been operating continuously since 1472. Development of banking spread from the northly Italy throughout the Holy Roman Empire and in the 15th and 16th century to northern Europe. This was followed by the number of important innovations that took place in Amsterdam during the Dutch Republic in the 17th century and in London since the 18th century. During the 20th century, developments in telecommunication and computing caused major changes in banks' operations and let banks dramatically increase in size and geography separate. The financial crisis of the 2007-2008 caused many banks failure, including some of the world's largest banks, and provoked much debates about bank regulations. Renaissance authority. More stable economy relations were brought about with a change in the socio-economic condition from a reliance on a hunting and gathering of foods to agricultural practices during periods beginning sometime after 12,000 BC at approximately 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent in northern China, about 9,500 years ago, about 5,500 years ago in Mexico, and the approximately 4,500 years ago in the eastern parts of the United States. Monetary. The history of the banking is intertwined with the history of money. Ancient types of the money known as the grain money and food cattle money and were used from the time of around at least 900,000 BC as two of the earliest things that could be used for the purpose of the barter. Anatolian obsidian as a raw material for Stone Age tools was being distributed from as early as about 12,500 BC. The occurrence of an organized trade was currently during the 9th millennium within the Sardinia, which was the location of one of the four main sites from the sourcing the material deposited of obsidian within the Mediterranean. Trade using obsidian was replaced during the 3rd millennia by trade of copper and silver.